Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore?
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but guys don't know how to ask out girls on dates anymore.
If you're a guy and you're thinking of approaching a woman at the gym, just please don't do it.
Can also risk, a man's reputation because women can sometimes twist a story.
Because I've been building up my roster for the last couple weeks, and not a single one of these men has even tried to have sex with me.
Men used to approach without thinking twice. Now in 2026, they're thinking and deciding not to bother. And suddenly, the silence is louder than any rejection ever was.
Did you know that 78% of men don't approach women anymore? Here's why that's your advantage. Fear of rejection, fear of looking desperate or awkward, which means if you're the one guy who walks up, introduces himself, and can hold a conversation, you're not competing with anyone. So no, hot girls are not used to being approached. In fact, they are waiting on it. Comment approach for my comprehensive guide on how to master the cold approach like a natural.
There was a time when approaching women was almost expected. Men were told to take initiative, risk rejection, and man up. But after years of mixed signals, that confidence has turned into caution.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but guys don't know how to ask out girls on dates anymore. Some statistic on my For You page, like a shit ton saying that guys don't approach girls anymore, like within reason, but I don't even think they know how to literally ask a girl out anymore, whether that be through text or like Hinge or dating app. So like forever ago, I was going back and forth with this guy on Hinge. I made this like subtle hint about like going to a concert, or was it was something like just hinting, kind of teeing up, like meeting each other and doing something in person. A great conversation. And so when I had the subtle tee up for him, hit me back with like a haha yeah. That's when he should have been like, yeah, I'd love to, like, when are you free, or when is this, or yada yada. Literally queued him up, literally. There was no follow through. Why I keep beating this dead horse of niche dating apps being the new wave in 2026, especially here in New York. After I deleted Hinge, I've been uncuffed, and this has not been an issue. Uncuffed. My friends also like Coffee Meets Bagel. They haven't had any issues. So some of my friends really like Circa, and that one's a little cool and different.
Now it's not fear, it's calculation. A lot of men look at the situation and think, what's the upside? If the answer feels uncertain, they simply don't engage. And that small shift changes everything.
I'd love to see this study. Now, I don't know if this is true or not based off the comment, but if it is true, like, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's a combination of many factors: COVID, technology, isolation, loneliness, all the things that probably have contributed to this statistic. But now that we have the awareness, how can we encourage people to approach others in a kind, respectful way? I think fear is really what holds us back at the end of the day. So how can we encourage people to not let fear get the best of them and to shoot their shot in life? And this can go with romantic relationships, but even platonic ones. A lot of people complain how it's so hard to meet new friends and make new friends. But how often are people actually putting themselves out there to initiate the start of a friendship when that friendship is not from a shared social circle or just matter of convenience and proximity? We need to start approaching other people in a kind, respectful, and easy way. After all, we're wired to be social creatures.
What's really shocking people isn't rejection, it's the absence of effort. No approaches, no conversations, no attempts. Just men minding their business and keeping their distance.
You see a beautiful girl, you want to go and approach. You need to detach from the outcome. Focusing on the outcome doesn't allow us to achieve the goal. You see, the winner and the loser of the same race had the same outcome. What was the difference? The difference was their ability to focus on the strategy and build the correct game plan in order to attain the outcome, as opposed to simply manifesting the outcome in hope that it would occur. How do we attach this to approaching a woman? You need to understand the substance that causes attraction, not leap for an attraction that has no foundations. Building tension, playful ability, body language cues, social ability, magnetism, energy, all of these things that actually allow you a better outcome than just sitting there thinking about, I want to get this girl's number. Additionally, when you're more attached to the outcome, you're going to put yourself under more psychological pressure, which damages your comfortability, damages your confidence, and therefore damages your performance. That's the complete reverse than having a strong, masculine, and centered frame, which is desired by quality female.
Not imagine what an actual baddie goes through on the fucking daily, because I'm walking home from the gym, and it's a 10-minute walk home, and I've gotten honked at 3 different times. Like, I don't understand what you think you can accomplish by honking at someone in your car, so stop being a freaking creep. Thank you.
And the irony? The same behaviors that were once criticized are now missing. Persistence was called annoying, confidence was called arrogance, and boldness was labeled uncomfortable. So men adjusted.
And a man on my walk asked me on a date. He goes, oh, hey, sorry, excuse me. I think you're really beautiful and was curious like if you're available and would like to go on a date. And I said, I'm just not in the place where I'm dating right now. Like, he was like, wow, I definitely respect that. Like, he didn't fight back on it. It was really kind and respectful. And this is how men should be asking women out in 2026.
This is a textbook example of how I encourage men to ask women out in public. 1, you approach with respect. 2, you take rejection like a champ. You take it like you're the most confident man in the world and it's no big deal if she rejects you. If you are aware of what women are going through when they're being approached and having that sort of empathy and having that sort of understanding, it's only going to make them more attracted to you. Sometimes women just aren't in the place to date. Sometimes they're not looking for that. But this woman felt so uplifted after that interaction and she had to come home and talk about it. That is the kind of feeling that you can leave women with, and often you can leave with a phone number if you do it right. If you are a confident person, you'll feel better after doing it, even if you get a no. And that woman will feel good. Also, even if she says no, it's a good interaction. Insecure people and immature people are the reason asking someone out can be such a pain. And even women who reject you rudely, even if you approach with respect and a woman rejects you rudely, that's on her. It is not on you. That is not something that you should take to heart because it's not a reflection of who you are. If you approach with respect, you did everything right.
Instead of walking that tightrope, many just stepped off it entirely. No risk of embarrassment, no awkward moments, no misinterpretations. Just peace and predictability.
Since I've gotten a lot of engagement across my videos around why men are not approaching women and the ways that I've been exploring this topic, a friend of mine actually sent me a video. It was like 25 minutes where this narrator was talking about like 11 different reasons as to why men will not approach anymore. To summarize, they kind of boil down to the fear of being called creepy, how now rejection is something that happens in public, not in private, can also risk, a man's reputation because women can sometimes twist a story or make men out to look like the bad guy when they were just trying to put themselves out there. The video also talked about how technology has stifled us socially and we've lost the skill set to approach in public. Another one was about how there's now mixed messages around what's appropriate depending on the subjective perspective of whether or not someone's attractive, which I've definitely seen a lot of comments on this app about oh, well, it's not creepy if I'm, an attractive person, but it's creepy if I'm not considered attractive. Also, another big one was around how cultural narratives have now shifted, women expecting men to approach, but then at the same time being very standoffish and not showing that they want to be approached. So it's giving men mixed messages. All of these reasons, and I'm summarizing very quickly here, but literally all of them honestly make sense. And it makes me really sad because I do think that to a degree, women do play a part in confusing men. I'm here on this app being approach in public, approach at the gym. We want you to do all these things. But then men are hearing my videos and they're like, what are you talking about? Women don't want that. Women have explicitly told us we don't want that. And I'm sure there are some women out there that probably have said that. And I am, on this app saying the complete opposite thing. So of course it must be confusing and infuriating for most of you. But what I would hope you take away with at the end of the day is that you cannot control other people. All you can do is control yourself. And if you know that you are acting with respect and with kindness towards someone and you have the best of intentions and you're doing something in a way that is not making someone feel unsafe physically or emotionally, that is the best you can do. And if someone is not vibing, they're just not your cup of tea and you are not their cup of tea, and that's fine. And you just have to learn to walk away and to move forward and to not let the continuous rejections or things that don't feel good stop you from continuing to put yourself out there. That is it. You just have to keep putting yourself out there. and shooting your shot and being okay with things not going your way all the time.
Meanwhile, women are left confused. Not because rejection hurts, but because there's nothing happening at all. You can't respond to interest that isn't being shown.
I genuinely feel like I shouldn't have to make this video right now, but if you're a guy and you're thinking of approaching a woman at the gym, just please don't do it. Don't do it. I was just working out at my apartment complex, mind you, and some guy came up to me and his opening line was, "Oh, you live on the 4th floor, don't you?" And then he says that my 2 dogs are really cute. So now you've not only made me feel uncomfortable at the gym, now I feel uncomfortable where I live. And honestly, I don't know why I have to even say this. Like, isn't that obvious that that's fucking weird? Don't you feel like a fucking weirdo coming up to someone and saying that?
Men, on the other hand, are redirecting their energy. Work, gym, hobbies, friendships, areas where effort equals results. It's simple, controlled, and doesn't come with social guesswork.
Honestly, in this day and age, shame on the women who shit on guys who actually try respectfully to like get your number or like approach you or like just hit on you in general in like a public setting. Extra bonus points if it's not a fucking bar or an atmosphere that involves alcohol. Like, I hate when girls like, ew, like that guy like came up to me, like what a weirdo. Like, they literally need to be encouraged to do that. Like, no one does it anymore. I love when men like shit on like girls who go out in bars and stuff and stuff like that or whatever. But like, where are you gonna find your husband on Hinge? At the grocery store? They are not fucking approaching you there. Swear to God, whenever someone approaches me, specifically not in a bar setting, I have the utmost respect. Even if I don't find them attractive, I'll give them a number regardless or conversate with them regardless because it's like so admirable in this day and age to actually have the nerve and the kahunas to go and do that. So stop shitting on them because we need that.
Calling it a confidence issue misses the point. These same men function fine everywhere else in life. They are not incapable, they are selective about where they invest effort.
So I keep seeing all of these videos of these women complaining about men not approaching. And in 2026, there's no reason for any man to approach a woman. And it's for 2 reasons. First reason, if she likes you, she's going to approach you. These women are more manly than you are. So if she really want that, she's going to step to that. It's not going to stop her. She's not going to take a risk at losing you if she thinks you're that dude. There's no reason for you to go approach her. You're either that dude or you're not. And she will put herself in your space and let you know that she's digging you. Second reason is, why would I do all the work to get you and also do all the work to have to take care of you? At the end of the day, even if she approaches you, you still got to do all the work once you maintain that relationship. So why would I chase you to take care of you? That doesn't make any sense. That's not a deal that men should be even considering. There's no reason in this year to be approaching women at all. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that the relationship is going to be on you regardless. So if I'm going to be doing all the work in the relationship as far as providing and all of that stuff and you know, taking you out, taking you to dinner and stuff like that, or whatever you're going to do, why would I be going to ask you, can I do those things? No, you're going to do something. You're going to approach me, you're going to make your feelings known, and then I'll let you know if I'm feeling it, and then we'll take it from there. But for you as a man to go approach a woman and risk all of that stuff for no reason, because what, you think that it's gonna go well just because you ask her? No, you need to make her prove that she wants to deal with you, so that way you can then decide if you want to deal with her. You're doing all the work to take care of her, like you're going after her to take care of her. No, you're doing her a favor. So why would you ask her out? If asking her out means you got to do work, she can do the asking you out. She can approach you, she can let you know she's into you, and then you can take over from there. Because at the end of the day, you're still providing her with something. She's the seller, you're the buyer. You can't be selling and buying at the same time. Doesn't make any sense. So the least she can do is let you know that she's digging you. And if you're that guy, she will. If you're not, then you'll know off the top, because a woman who really wants you ain't gonna let you get away without letting you know. There's no reason to approach her at all. At all. You're gonna know. She's gonna let you know. No reason to text her, no reason to message her, no reason to go up there and try to shoot your shot, none of that stuff. Just chill, be in the spot, and she will come and put herself in your space, and you'll know. If she's not doing that, then don't do nothing else. There's no reason, because you got too much work to do in a relationship already. Why would you do all of the work? What do you think this is? Like, I'm supposed to chase you, catch you, maintain you, and love you, and you're supposed to be there? Nah, bro. You're gonna do something. And there's no reason for you not to be doing something, especially because and on the front end, I'm making all the investment, I'm taking all the risk. So if I'm taking all the risk, you're gonna have to show that you are worthy of that risk by doing something. If not, then I don't know what to tell you.
The real shift is in incentives. If approaching feels risky and unrewarding, people stop doing it. It's not emotional, it's logical.
What the fuck is up with men only wanting to be my pen pal? Because I've been building up my roster for the last couple weeks, and not a single one of these men has even tried to have sex with me. Which normally I would say is very respectful, but it's also, we're not even doing anything. You know, we're not hanging out, we're not like going on dates. Why do men just want pen pals? I don't want to be your fucking pen pal. If we're not fucking and we're not going on dates, then what the hell are we talking for? I don't want to talk to you. I got a million other people I would rather talk to other than you. But I'm just like, does nobody just...
They don't want to go the distance.
Nobody fucks on the first date anymore? Nobody kisses nasty in the parking lot on the first date anymore?
You don't finger in the parking lot?
Nobody fingers in the parking lot after the date anymore? What the fuck's going on? I've been out of the dating game for 5 years. What are we, all virgins? I mean, I'm a virgin, honestly, but like, God, nobody's fucking on the first date, second date? God forbid a girl wants a little love bombing, you know. So what? So what? I'm a little bored. So what? I'm a little bored and I want to have sex. So what? God fucking forbid.
The truth is that most women are actually offended if a guy that is ugly hits on them, and no amount of trying to shame women for feeling that way is going to change the feeling. People need to be more realistic. Like, if a girl is out of your league physically and you approach her and she looks at you like you're weird, it's because you're being weird. If she doesn't say anything, you should be so lucky, because some people out there are actually mean and will actually make you feel bad about it. I am one of those people.
If a woman, you know, has a guy that she deems unattractive and he comes over, why can't you just be polite? Why can't you just be like, you know what, I'm not interested, thanks so much, but I have a boyfriend, or I'm just not interested, thanks so much. Like, why can't you just, where is that chip? Did women just lose the ability to just be kind?
And when enough men reach that conclusion, it creates a noticeable gap. Fewer interactions, fewer connections, fewer opportunities for anything to even begin.
So go watch Tinks's video, I'll link it below. But what this says is that 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never asked a woman out in person. All right, hopefully you watched her video, because what she's saying is that that's bad, right? That 45% of men, young men, aren't asking girls out. And what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen with AI chatbots? The fact that ChatGPT is now going to allow adult content on its platform. Like, that's bad, right? And I listened to a podcast this week with Scott Galloway, pearl clutching over the fact that, oh my God, ChatGPT is now going to be interactive with adult content. And what's so fucking dumb, what's so goddamn stupid about all of this is that the reason boys, young men, 18 to 25, aren't asking women out in the first place is because of the adult content they already consume. This problem is not in the future. This problem is now. You are seeing the result of smartphones that are jammed, packed with endless, free adult content. These boys, who are now 18 to 25, have been watching adult movies since they were 8, 9, 10 years old. They were so raised on it and so impacted by it that they don't even bother to ask girls out. Why would they? They have all the tits and ass they want in the palm of their hands. I have written articles on this. I have made a bunch of videos on this. I have been talking about this for years now. And what's even more wild is that on this podcast where Scott Galloway was talking about it, he said it's age gated. He says that adult content online is age gated just like gambling and just like cigarettes and alcohol. What internet are you using, Scott? Because I'll tell you what, I could hand my phone to a toddler right now and they could type in boobies and see every size and flavor imaginable. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? But this problem, these young men who have jerked themselves out of existence for the most part, these young men who don't have the mojo to ask a girl out, they don't have the mojo to get out of the basement, they don't have the mojo to go to school or get a job. These young men got this way because in 2008, we decided to jam all earthly delights into a palm-sized device that they could take into their bedroom and they could take into their bathroom. Gone were the days of having to sit, in the family computer, at the desk, in the kitchen, or wherever, in front of, God and everyone. Right? Maybe you got to see something download over time. Maybe you got to find a Playboy in the woods. Maybe you got to see a VCR tape that your friend had or something like that. Instead, it's all in the palm of their hands. And you think that them being able to talk to it is going to make that big of a difference? Like men want to hear a bitch say anything to start with. Okay? So those pearls you're clutching now, they done been clenched. They should have been anyway. For 15 fucking years now. What we are seeing with young men now is the result of free online adult content access. We gave them all crack and walked away. What are you doing to change that?
The uncomfortable truth is that men didn't forget how to approach, they just stopped seeing a reason to. And once that mindset sets in, it's hard to reverse.
Whatever happened to men going up to women? Whatever happened to it? We want that. Bring that back. Can we bring that back? Can we start a movement to just approach the person that you think is cute? Because that's what's lacking nowadays. Okay, people are missing opportunities from left to right. You could have met your soulmate. Okay, that could have been your soulmate right there. But instead you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Anger I get from making eye contact with a man is so ridiculous sometimes. Look at the hives I just got. Literally just from making eye contact with a man. I literally feel so disgusted. I feel like don't look at me!
Let me tell you why men don't come up to women anymore. These videos are the prime example of why women have spent the last 50 years, and we have 2 generations of men now that have been raised and been told that that's disgusting behavior. Women don't want that. Me Too movement happened. Men got canceled a lot of times for things that really weren't anything, but they got canceled anyway. And so after all that time, after being canceled, men have learned it's not worth pursuing, it's not worth chasing, it's not worth approaching a woman. And it doesn't matter how many videos you post about wanting this, it's not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen is because men don't know which side of the equation they're going to get. Are they going to get the woman that reciprocates and appreciates a man being forward and coming up to him? Or are they going to get the woman that even eye contact grosses her out and makes her rage? We don't know. And so because we don't know, because there's too much at risk, because social media exists and women readily post and blast men on social media, men simply aren't going to do it. So women, I say this a lot. If you see a man that you like, you're going to have to approach him and make it known that you are approachable, that you want that, and then let him make the move. But you're going to have to make the first move. And I know that sucks, but that's just the society that we're in. Whether you like it or not, you created it, women. Men didn't create this.
At the end of the day, you can't expect consistent effort in an environment that discourages it. Men didn't disappear, they adapted. And that adaptation looks like silence.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.